A marriage interrupted.
That would be marriage and ADHD.
I'm Felicia Horton.
I'm Jonathan Horton.
We are not professionals, licensed, certified.
We went through that last time, yeah.
I think we should every time.
I have a lot of certifications, but none of them have anything to do with ADHD.
No, but it's because of his ADHD he was able to get them.
That could be.
I think that's the case. But we're not. We're just an old married couple who learned that Jonathan has ADHD much later in life. And all the stuff we
It's a
went
good thing,
through.
though.
It is a good thing that we learned it. But the stuff that we went through before we learned it, and how we're here now and what we do, and this podcast, these videos are just meant hopefully to help people out there who are lost also, or could use some support, or just to know they're not alone.
It helps us too as well.
I think it helps us a lot.
So highly recommended. If you ever have any problems, just videotape yourself and then watch yourself.
And then run and hide.
I would say that we should probably take a video sometime of us having a discussion or an argument so we could play back, instant replay, and say, see, you did say that.
Or no, you didn't say that. Or yes, you did that. Or a lot of finger pointing. So that's kind of what we want to talk about today.
What's that?
So often I get frustrated. And I express that frustration. And when I say things like, Jonathan, why are you playing that game? We have things to do today. It's perceived as
Nagging.
And when there's this hair in my face that drives me nuts.
Your timing, not mine.
Right, but the way I express things to you, nagging. The other thing, if I say, well, you didn't do that. Why didn't you do that? What is it you say to me?
Stop nagging me. No, I never say that.
You say, I feel like you're reprimanding me.
Oh yeah, scolding me.
Yeah, you usually say reprimanding.
Yeah, and I ask you, could you find a more gentler way to remind me that I forgot to do something?
So often what happens is the first round or two, I am gentler. Not always, but often I will say, oh, sweetheart, don't forget. Let's remember. Here's a loving reminder. And then it's the second, third, or fourth time that I go like, could you just do that already? Like, you gave me your word. Why aren't you just doing it? Just do it. And that's when you come back with,
get away from me. No.
I'm sure that's what you're thinking. You don't say that. And that's for another conversation. Jonathan never wants to ever be portrayed as not being anything but loving. But so how do we do that? How are we getting better at that? Or are we even getting better at that?
Yes, you are getting better from my perception by being gentler as you'll remind me. Oh, did you get a chance to do this or that or whatever? Did you get a chance yet to start cleaning the garage?
Which is on the agenda today. Again. So that's where I'm going to kind of, I don't want to say differ here, but my perspective of that is I've always gently started with, remember, we were supposed to clean the garage today. And then an hour later, I'm like, hey, are we going to clean the garage? What are you doing? What are you doing? Because sometimes you get lost in other stuff. And I still think I did that before too. I think I have my periods of just going straight in for the, hey, could just do it.
It depends on how good the game is or something.
Yeah, but you joke about that because that's the manly thing to joke about. But he doesn't get stuck in sports very often. Occasionally, I'm always amazed at how much he knows about the sports world without really watching it very often. But often it's other things. It's just little things like...
I take in the best parts of it.
Jonathan can walk upstairs and our granddaughter can have something on the TV and Jonathan could just stand there and watch it. And I'm like, you're watching this family play video games. And he could be completely lost in it. And that's when I'll say, well, were you on your way to your computer? Were you on your way to get that invoice done? Yeah. And then I'll go do something, come back, and he's still standing there. And that's when I go, weren't you supposed to go?
Some of those little kid shows she watches are pretty interesting, though.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to say they're not, but let's go back to
Bonding time with my granddaughter.
Because most of the time she's playing somewhere else in the room. But calling a spade here, it is easy for you to get distracted.
It is easy for me to get distracted.
I'm that person who
I catch myself getting distracted and I have to remind myself what I was doing. Unless I forget what I was doing.
You've gotten better, I was going to say, when you remember what you do lose your way along the way. Does anyone else remember, oh gosh, it's been a while now, Bill Keane had the cartoon Family. It was called Family.
I've used that because everybody said it. That was me.
Billy.
When little Billy was supposed to go from the living room to the kitchen, but he goes from the bedroom to outside to the before he makes it one room up.
And when Bill Keane would draw it, he'd draw the dots of how he would jump on the slide and go down and then go get playing the leaves and you'd see this whole path before he'd get to the where he needed to be next to it. I feel that happens often, and so when I gently
we don't have a slide.
We do. You just wouldn't fit down there. Oh, we don't anymore. We gave it away. You're right. Anyway, we digress. So back to how do we best communicate when you're in La La Land? And maybe that's not fair to even name it.
Are you asking me how we should communicate?
Yeah.
Give me the benefit of the doubt. It's going to get done.
But that's unfortunate because that's not always the case. So when these things happen and I say, well, you told me, we discussed it, you were going to do the garage last weekend. It's always, well, this came up. I didn't expect that. We needed to do this. Okay. Then the next week comes and I say, well, we're going to do that. And I'm just using that as an example, but we're going to do that. And then it's, all right, I'm going to do it no matter what. And then in the process, it's like, I'm going to get to it, but I have to do this. I didn't expect this to come up. Well, now I have to go there. And I'll go, well, that's what happened last weekend. Things came up. And you go, well, we can't change the past.
Do you know nothing about ADHD? I put out things that I dread doing.
True. So how do we get past the point where it can't be put off? Taxes can't be put off. Paying bills can't be put off. This can't be put off because this is so important to us, these videos. How do we best, how do we best
just gotta lock and load.
Okay.
Buckle down.
How do we
Okay, right after we film this, we're going to go down into the garage.
So after we film this, we're going to film our TikTok and our Reels, and we're going to get that taken care of.
You're placing your priorities.
So exactly. So I'm the list maker, and I think that our extreme is the problem.
And I get put on the back burner.
You get put on the back burner?
Yeah, my garage cleaning is like...
No. I know. No. That's funny that you didn't even say that.
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to start.
No. So that's the thing. So part of it is those marriages that have ADHD, when one person has ADHD and the other person is not on the other extreme, might be easier. For me, I'm the list maker. I'm the clean person. I want to have everything in order. I have a place for everything. The closet has its color coordinating by long sleeve, short sleeve, type of shirt, pants, same thing. Where Jonathan...
Sweatshirts are color coordinated.
They are.
In perfect rows.
They should be, for me. So it's even harder when it's so the extreme of not having things in order. So that's back to our schedule.
I have color piles.
He has colored piles. You do. No, you don't. How do you even have colored piles? You don't even have that. So back to
I know
how
everything
do I
is.
best share with you at what point do I need to be like, hey, this is ridiculous. I've asked you, we've been talking about this for a week. You gave me your word for a week. This needs to get done. And at some point, when do I take over? Like this year, I took over taxes because it's just like we can't keep putting it off. And we are blessed with these extensions here in California and needed to get done. So then that was back on me.
Thank you very much for taking them over and hiring somebody to do the taxes.
Well, that is, and someone awesome at that. So again, my point in all of this is how do the whole point of this video today is how do we communicate that to each other? How do couples get past the nagging to the asking? At some point when you ask and it still is not getting done, especially on the important things. I guess you could divide it between the two. If it's not that important, right? The things that some people, I'll say dinner's ready. Okay, I'm coming. I'm starving. I'll be right there. First, let me shower, and then I'll come. Oh, and let me go get my drink. Oh, and then and then meanwhile, I could finish a whole meal before you get down there. Maybe that's not as important. I don't know.
I think what you have learned is probably more than maybe some other people in the same situation, that you understand it's nothing personal or that I'm doing on purpose. It's
true. I know that.
There's a disconnect somewhere. It's frustrating for me as well, truly. When I'm all by myself trying to get something accomplished, I have to keep reminding myself what I'm doing, where I'm going, what's the process I need to be taking. I have to remind myself or I'll get distracted and get on a different course that has nothing to do with what I originally was supposed to be doing.
So again, I'm just not sure, how do I best communicate without sounding like this horrible nagging?
No, you do it once in a while. You go, hey, what are we doing?
So this morning.
Oh, sorry.
This morning again. So are we going to go upstairs? Yes. What are you working on? You did your puzzle. We do puzzles in the morning.
That's supposed to be helping me. ADHD helping.
It should be.
Keep my.
Get lost. So Jonathan, so we do Wordle in the morning, and then my daughter said, hey, let's do Connect. So we started doing Connect. So we used to do Contexto, and so we do these puzzles in the morning together. It gets us going. I get that. I love it. I have no complaint about that. But today you decided to find another puzzle and a new puzzle.
So Contexto was too frustrating for me because it was more words related. The new one I tried today was more visual.
Which is, again, none of that has anything to do with the fact that we had a plan. We discussed the plan. You got lost in the puzzle.
I know the plan had a schedule this morning. I apologize.
But we talked about the time frame. We talked about what we were going to do. When he finally finished the puzzle, there was some more procrastination. And then I said...
I did really good on the puzzle, by the way.
And you did. And then I said, okay. And then you looked at me and go, so what's the plan? I was like, oh no. We discussed the plan. Multiple times we discussed the plan. And I guarantee he'll ask me again multiple times. But I got frustrated this morning. I'll be honest.
There it is. Just don't get frustrated. Just go with it.
Very, very frustrated because I have things I need to get done today too. So how do I best... So I guess basically we're in a full circle because Jonathan came upstairs and I got everything ready for this, and he washed the shower, and there's always so many other things to do. So at what point, I jokingly said, that was the longest shower. Like, come on, let's get going. And of course he made a joke out of that.
That wasn't a joke. It's the cleanest shower you've ever seen.
Okay, again, how do I gently get to that point? So we joked about that, but I was already frustrated from this morning. So have we answered any questions? Have we gotten anywhere in this 15 minutes?
More frustrated than when we started.
How do I best communicate? So I guess to wrap it up would be, I just keep being as gentle as I can until I can't. Is it going to be that same? Could you say it any better without at some point you recognizing that I said it differently multiple times before I got to that point of not being as nice?
When she bites her lip, I know she's serious.
I just would love, I don't know, maybe that's just one that will just keep going around, and I'll just be as gentle as I can each time a little bit more, but sometimes things just need to get done.
It's not like I'm doing nothing. I'm always doing something.
Like a puzzle, which is really, really important.
We don't need to get into that.
After 3
Miss
puzzles.
Puzzle person.
After 3 puzzles, but I get my list done. So I don't know. I hate to end any video saying I don't think we've solved anything, other than share if you have that same
Frustration.
frustration and that same obstacle.
Anxiety.
Then maybe the answer is
Delusion.
maybe the answer is just keep chugging along and doing the best you can in the hopes that it gets better or easier, or maybe it is just what it is. So okay.
And if you keep your garage clean as you go, then you won't be in this situation at all. Because bottom line, it's all about an unorganized garage.
It's a lot
That's
more
the
than
moral
that.
of the story.
It's a lot more than that. I'm Felicia Horton.
I'm Jonathan Horton.
This is A Marriage Interrupted.
Good luck. Have a great day. Peace out.